Well, good for you, Marty.
If it's really Nina, you don't have much time.
Is that how she killed you? With a pillow?
You're a murderer. We can have a future together.
No.
These are the top 35 movie reveals that no one saw coming.
The rifle's empty, by the way. Tremors are getting pretty bad. How are the hallucinations?
Get out of here, Teddy. This place is gonna be the end of you.
Teddy's a different kind of patient. This man is his own enemy, although not intentionally. We've spent the entire movie following him, trying to understand the hints and actually coming up with our own theories to solve the case. However, at the end of the movie, it all boiled down to the fact that the detective was the patient all along.
What the f*** is going on here? You working for him?
I'm sorry, there wasn't any other way. Someone had to stick with you, keep you safe.
I told you about my wife.
I know.
I climbed down a cliff to get you.
If we fail with you, then everything that we've tried to do here will be discredited, everything.
Man, this one hit real hard because honestly, I'd rather make fun of Leonardo DiCaprio and his love for 25 and under women than have my mind blown so intensely. Of course, this is a Martin Scorsese film, so we should have gone in expecting nothing more than absolute cinema. Side note, Mark Ruffalo must have had so much fun the entire movie playing a cop alongside Leo. I'm sure he didn't mind the whole make-believe aspect.
Handle your children! Simon. Henry. And here, the little girl, the one you dream of.
Never had a little girl.
The one who tells you over and over that you should have saved her.
I told you not to come in here. This would be the end of you.
Hey, you on your way in or out, man?
Can you help me? Oh, shit. Please.
Okay, so this one's a whole new entry, and it's a whole new kind of crazy as well. 2019's Sorry to Bother You already has a pretty interesting premise when it comes to perception. You know, a black man using a white voice to gain favor with his clients makes for a cool story, but then they went ahead and gave us horse people. Yeah, you heard that right, horse people.
Man?
It's legit too, as the main reason for this was to increase efficiency and obedience amongst the subjects. Man, I sure hope our companies never try stuff like this, because I just can't imagine myself in that position. The design may not have been the best, but it's the shock factor that takes the cake. Like, the audience went in expecting a whole other story, so when this plot twist was unraveled in front of our eyes, we frankly didn't know how to react.
Man, so you making half human, half horse things so you can make more money?
Yeah, basically. I just didn't want you to think I was crazy.
Oh, cool. All right, cool. No, I understand.
I would stab him 78 times with a butcher knife. I would chop off his fingers. I would slash his throat open. I would carve numbers into his chest. I would gouge out his eyes. I swear to God.
Further questions, Your Honor.
Where the hell do you think you're going?
Excuse me?
Hey, you look at me when I'm talking to you. Mr. Stampler, you lady, come here. Come here, you want to play rough? Let's play rough. Hey, come on.
Aaron Stampler is such a menace that it's criminal for Edward Norton not to have won the Oscar for this role. The murders were bad enough, but then we're made to feel some kind of sympathy towards Aaron because of his multiple personalities. Honestly, the court outburst should have been the big moment in the movie, but no, there was something far more sinister in store for us. It's when we learned that Aaron faked the whole thing and never had any other personalities at all.
You told me you don't remember. You black out. So how do you know about her neck?
Well, good for you, Marty. But to tell you the truth, I'm glad you figured it. Because I have been dying to tell you. Aaron or Roy or Aaron.
As a matter of fact, the aggressive persona of Roy was the real deal, and Aaron was just his cover. Even Vale couldn't get his head around what he just learned, and it's even crazier to imagine that this film came out all the way back in 1996. If you haven't watched this film already, I suggest you do, even with the spoilers.
Sort of a client-attorney privilege type of a secret, you know what I mean? It don't matter who you hear it from. It's the same story.
이거 좀 같이 밀어줘요. 좀만 당겨주세요. 저쪽에서 당겨. 당겨.
Well, here's a fairly recent film that comes with a strange kind of bunker. 2019's Parasite took the world by storm for many reasons, but apart from the various viral moments, the bunker scene was a completely unexpected reveal. I mean, how many people have houses with such an intricate structure? The build-up to the reveal of Gwen Stacy being the ghost of the house was insane work. Man, it terrifies me to even imagine another person living in the same place as me without my knowledge. This almost ventured into horror territory, and it was a pretty strong change of tone. Then again, hiding from loan sharks is a pretty scary situation to be in, regardless of who you might be. Kudos to that architect though, this sequence clearly made every homeowner think twice about their interior designers. I for sure have tons of trust issues now.
No, give me the gun. Give me the gun, it's okay. Help me. Whoa. Stu's flipped out. He's gone mad.
No, Billy!
Scream was a refreshing take on the horror genre, especially because of how it wasn't afraid to ridicule it in a somewhat non-disrespectful way. Ghostface is one of the most popular Halloween costumes, and for good reason too. Now, when it comes to his identity, we're led to believe all kinds of theories and conspiracies, but then it hits us harder than Thor's hammer. The villain wasn't one guy, there were two. Both Billy and Stu were the culprits.
What's the matter, Sydney? You look like you've seen a ghost.
Why did you kill my mother?
Why? Why? You see, it's a lot scarier when there's no motive, Sid.
And this shock reveal had everyone gasping for breath, not just Sydney. Heck, this was such an insane twist that even Scary Movie had to parody it.
Was soll denn das? Sind wir Luft für dich? Au! Denkst du mal, dass bei du sich das benehmen wie...
Holy mother of God. If evil could ever anger the audience to their limits, it's in Funny Games. That plot twist hit us all out of freaking nowhere. Just when you think that the good guys are finally gonna have things go their way, Paul decides to switch things up by finding a remote and rewinding Peter's death. The worst part is that Anna has no idea of what's going on, and she remains clueless after the rewind because to her, the shotgun incident didn't happen. I mean, there's no logic here. All I can say is that the director, Michael Haneke, just wanted to torture the viewers. As a matter of fact, he wanted to torture us so much that he literally made the movie again in English to ensure everybody could see it. Come on, my guy, who hurt you?
We are what we believe we are.
Holy shit. This is so cool.
This is a strange kind of plot twist, because it happens right at the end of the movie, so there isn't any plot left to twist. However, by setting up Split as the official sequel to Unbreakable was a genius move by M. Night Shyamalan. We've just watched a whole movie for almost 2 hours, investing all of our energy into Casey and Kevin.
Go to your room, shut the door. Do it now.
You've always been protected. You've never truly suffered.
Along with all his other personalities, but right at the end, we're shown that David Dunn belongs to the same universe. It's done so casually and gives us a unique kind of twist which effectively serves as a plot point to connect the movie to its surprise predecessor. Unbreakable was a good movie, and learning that Split was its sequel totally got the fans hyped for the third story, Glass.
Look what he can do. Let him show the world how powerful we can be.
I embrace it, and I welcome every moment of it.
You.
H-A-N-N-A-H. H.
Denis Villeneuve is one of the few great modern directors, and Arrival is one of his gems. The movie accomplishes so much with its plot and themes, but of course, the main twist is what makes it so memorable. With Banks finally learning about the aliens wanting to teach their language to the humans, you'd think it's all over, but then we learn that all the visions she was having of the past were actually premonitions of the future.
I don't understand. Who is this child?
Yes, her daughter being born and even dying from an incurable disease were all visions of what would happen later. It's insane how this whole sequence unraveled, but that's the kind of stuff that makes movies like this so enjoyable. You also have to give it to Banks for going ahead with the very same decision, despite knowing what was going to happen to her daughter later on.
I've had my head tilted up to the stars for as long as I can remember. You know what surprised me the most? It wasn't meeting them, it was meeting you.
Come on, get on the phone! Get on the phone!
What's all that about?
I have no idea.
We did speak about how Split turned into an official sequel, but 6 years before, we actually got a film that turned itself into an official prequel in the most brutal way imaginable. It's fair to say that Final Destination movies aren't meant for the faint of heart crowd, but even for the tough folks, this was a difficult pill to swallow. We've seen all the previous movies knowing that the characters do end up dying one way or another, but this one almost made us drop our guard. And then it happens. We learned that this was a prequel all along, and Sam and Molly were actually amongst the victims of the infamous plane crash which had apparently started it all. The death scene was so tragic, and it was almost demonic work to have ended the film on such a horrific note.
I got you! Molly, hold on! Someone call an ambulance!
Listen, I'm all for pranks on my birthday, but I do have one request. Don't make me feel like my life is actually in danger. Like, what the heck is wrong with these people? Nick was on the edge for so much time. You can't even blame him for not believing this was a game set up by his own brother Conrad. Shooting his own bro was the final nail in the coffin, as Nick proceeded to jump off the building, but then we learned that this part was stage 2 and the gun was just a prop. I sure hope there's no company like this in real life.
Happy birthday, Nikki. It's your birthday present.
Making children disappear is the war we wage with God. Makes people lose their faith. Turns them into demons like you.
Here's Mr. Villeneuve again with another gem in 2013's Prisoners. Poor Alex got the brunt end of the deal, getting tortured by Keller, whom we can somewhat empathize with, considering he's a father desperate to find his child.
Alex never laid a hand on those girls. Just wanted to take them for a ride in a camper. I was the one who decided they should stay.
However, the main twist arrives when we learn that the real kidnapper isn't Alex, but actually his Aunt Holly. As a matter of fact, she'd been doing this for years after having lost her faith post her son's own death. It's a harrowing twist that quickly forms the rest of the movie for us, and it's a great piece of direction as well.
Get in.
You want me to get in there? You're gonna have to shoot me. I'm not gonna get in there just because you asked.
Stop! Stop!
Get in there. That's right.
So, The Descent actually has two endings. There's the watered-down US version, which doesn't do much, but in the OG UK version, we see that the whole sequence where Sarah escapes the cave and drives away is nothing more than a vision. She's actually still in the cave and crawlers are closing in on her. It is a sad ending, and the audience knows what to expect next. Which makes The Descent a great horror movie. I don't know why they had to remove this reveal from the US version, because the plot twist makes it so much better.
Don't you understand, Rachel? She never sleeps.
It is difficult to beat the OG Ring, but in terms of a new audience watching it for the first time, I believe the American remake manages to make its plot twist hit harder. I still prefer the Japanese version, but we can always like two things at the same time. Anyway, the part where we learned that Rachel didn't put Samara to sleep is when things go seriously out of control.
Rachel, you there?
It gave us the iconic sequence of Samara stepping out of the TV and doing whatever she does to her victims, and Noah being her bunny this time. It's such a surreal moment, and it perfectly caps off why The Ring is such an iconic horror film. But yeah, the fact that you can only rid yourself of the tape's curse by handing it over to someone else is truly diabolical stuff.
What is this, a citizen's arrest? Blow me. All right, only one of us is a cop here, Bill. I erased you!
You erased me, huh?
Yeah, watch what happens.
Well, what happened is this bull would go right through your head!
Watch what happens! Shut the up!
It's hard to believe that Martin Scorsese only has one Oscar win, and it comes with The Departed. It's a solid flick for sure, although I don't understand how Raging Bull, Goodfellas, Taxi Driver, and many others didn't even win him anything. Anyway, The Departed is a juggernaut of a movie, and it's got one of the hardest hitting twists of all time. Just when you think the movie's finally entered a redemption arc as Leonardo DiCaprio's Billy Costigan apprehends Matt Dillon's Colin Sullivan,
Just kill me. Just kill me.
I am killing you.
boom, he gets shot by Barragan. That headshot had all of us losing our minds, and if things could get more chaotic, Barragan also shoots Brown, only to get shot down by Colin himself. This was such a wild rush of emotions, and it's the kind of stuff that makes Mr. Scorsese a legend. Then there's the ending too, where Colin is shot down by Dignam. But at that point, the audience was already prepared for pretty much anything.
Okay.
Do you keep count of all the civilians you killed as well? Your next attack will kill 10,000 more. You're disappointed in me, right? I remember that. I think you'll see that we did the right thing. I will never become you.
Oh my god, this movie got my head spinning so much that I forgot what reality was for a few hours. The plot twist just kept coming and coming here, and at one point, you have to just surrender all viable thoughts and go along with what you're seeing. Agent O was quite diligent, trying to catch the fizzle bomber, but then we see he's been the culprit the whole time, just a future version of himself.
You're a murderer. No. See, I've saved lives more than I ever could have from inside the Bureau. No, you kill innocent people. Innocent people. No. I have clippings.
Honestly, this alone was enough for it to be a solid twist, but then we get the biggest bomb dropped onto our heads when we learn that Agent Doe and Jane are the same person at different points of time. Guess what though? It doesn't end there. It also turns out that Jane and Doe had a baby together, and said baby is actually Jane. So, to sum it all up, the father, mother, and daughter are all the same freaking person.
What if I put him in front of you? The man who ruined your life. We can have a future together. No?
If you were really great and powerful, you'd keep your promises.
Think yourselves lucky that I'm giving you audience tomorrow.
Who'd have thought that I'd include an entry all the way from 1939? Well, The Wizard of Oz is legendary for a reason, and that's mainly because of the eventual reveal of the true wizard.
You've had plenty of time already. Do not arouse the wrath of the great and powerful Oz. I said come back tomorrow.
But he got exposed and had nowhere to go from that point onwards. It's a simple scene, but back in that era, it was the story that would grip people more than the effects.
You humbug!
So I'm a humbug.
Oh, you're a very bad man.
I'm a very good man. I'm just a very bad wizard.
Ava, go back to your room.
If I do, are you ever gonna let me out?
Yes.
Man, there are way too many movies nowadays where they show the robots taking over, but Ex Machina at least managed to show us something more fleshed out. At first, we feel that the twist was Caleb being used by Nathan as an experiment in order to understand if Ava could manipulate him.
You were right about Nathan. Everything you said.
What's he gonna do to me?
He's gonna reprogram your AI, which is the same as killing you.
You have to help me.
I'm going to.
But then the actual twist shows up, where Ava still decides to escape and uses Kyoko to help her out. It was a pretty strong contrast to earlier in the movie when we saw Nathan and Kyoko pull out some sick dance moves. But yeah, this one relied more on the conniving skills of the AI rather than brute force or programming tricks.
God brought us together that night. I never stopped thinking about you.
Jordan Peele tried a lot with 2019's Us, and some of it didn't work, but even so, the part where we learned that Addie was actually the tethered version was wild. All this time, we thought the Red was the tethered version, acting like all the other tethered people, but then we learned that she was Addie all along, which explains how she's able to speak. The specifics behind the whole phenomenon is still a bit iffy to me, but it does provide decent shock value. Also, Lupita Nyong'o gives us a brilliant performance throughout the entire movie, which really helps to establish the tone for the eventual revelation.
I've just seen the picture you emailed to us.
And you recognize her?
Where is she right now?
No, she's not with me. She's with my husband at home.
Call your husband right now and tell him to get your family out of the house. Tell him the little girl in the picture is not really a little girl. She's a grown woman.
Oh man, people really shouldn't be going out and lying about their age the way Lena did. She presents herself as a 9-year-old named Esther, but in reality, she's 33 freaking years old. Yes, I know, that impossible age gap shouldn't make sense, but thanks to her unique condition, it does happen to be possible.
Lena was one of our most violent patients. When she was here, she was kept in a straitjacket to stop her from hurting our staff. It got into her skin and left her with scars around her wrists and neck. There is no way you could not have seen them.
Dr. Varava is the one to state it, but the moment of truth arrives when Esther takes off her makeup and fake teeth to show that she is indeed a very dangerous and highly deceptive Lena. Man, people aren't even allowed to be good parents nowadays. Now you gotta worry about your adopted child being a violent criminal thrice their stated age.
Leave her alone! I'm here!
Is that how she killed you? With a pillow?
She didn't kill us! We're not dead! We're not dead! We're not dead! We're not dead! We're not dead!
Imagine being terrified of ghosts inside your own home, but then you learn that you are the actual ghosts. Grace was out here trying to fight her family and take care of the intruders, only to learn that they were the living family who had every right to live in that house. Of course, the reason why Grace and her kids are dead in the first place is quite messed up, so I won't go into that.
What did your mother do to you?
Something about a pillow.
Children, if you're dead, why do you remain in this house?
They made contact.
All three?
Apparently, yes. The mother and the 2 children.
We can't possibly stay in this house any longer. It is quite clear that these beings do not want us to live here.
But the important point is that they carried on living in the house even after learning the terrible truth. I guess this is what Grace took on as a second chance.
I killed my children. I got the rifle. I put it to my forehead. You were playing with the pillows as if nothing had happened.
What are you doing out here? How'd you get here?
Are you from the towns?
Where are you from? You came from the woods.
Will you help me? I need to find a doctor of medicine.
Here comes the king of plot twists again, M. Night Shyamalan. Now, 2004's The Village isn't a liked film, and people have criticised it widely, but despite all the obvious logical plot holes, I still think the eventual twist was quite nice.
Is someone hurt?
Please, sir, we must make haste.
You live in there?
I do, sir.
The idea of an isolated village filled with people being manipulated into thinking they're living in the medieval times was pretty interesting. When we learned that they're actually in the modern era, it comes across as so absurd that we want to believe it's a dream sequence or something, but it's not, and that's what makes the twist so effective.
What is your name?
Kevin.
Kevin, you have kindness in your voice. I did not expect that.
Oh man, this has got to be one of the worst feeling endings of all time. It was a great ending from a cinematic standpoint, but dear God, I felt so horrible about what I had to watch. It was all a matter of timing too. If David had just held on for a little bit longer, he wouldn't have had to shoot the other survivors, including his own freaking son. How on earth do you even live with yourself after learning that the army was going to come and save you in the next 5 minutes? David has no reason to live, and even if he does, his guilt will never leave his side. 'Yikes, this one's not an ideal diet for sure. I don't know if you've watched Soylent Green, but I'm still going to blurt out the spoiler, okay? It's about humanity facing a food crisis. The underprivileged folks rely on a packaged wafer called Soylent Green, which is apparently made from plankton and is supposed to be nutritious. It's Roth who finds out that Soylent Green is made from human bodies, and it's Thorne who takes it on himself to spread the word. Either way, the audience isn't too pleased to learn that when a food shortage arrives, humans may actually need to resort to cannibalism.
They're making our food out of people. Next thing, they'll be breeding us like cattle for food. You gotta tell them. You gotta tell them.
Promise, Tiger, I promise. I'll tell the exchange.
You gotta tell them. Silent Breed is people!
Freeze!
2004's Saw proved to everyone that even in the post-millennial era, you could still have a hit film without much of a budget. Saw became so successful that it spawned tons of movies and all sorts of branded merchandise, and all of this was despite it being such a gory film.
Hello, Mr. Hindle. Or as they called you around the hospital. Zap. I want you to make a choice. There's a slow-acting poison coursing through your system, which only I have the antidote for.
The iconic Jigsaw reveal had a lot to do with that, because it added to an already good movie and made it great. The man was literally hiding in plain sight, and the horror genre was never the same after this moment. With all the sequels that came after this film, the original remains the best entry, and for good reason too.
Most people are so ungrateful to be alive. But not you. Not anymore.
Alfred Borden, this day, in the name of the King and the High Court of England, you will meet your end.
No one cares about the man in the box.
Twins do get it done, but Christopher Nolan took it to a whole other direction. The Prestige is another one of his classics, and it should definitely get as much love as the Dark Knight movies. For one, it's got Batman and Wolverine in it, but the focus for now is the sequence where Angier learns that Borden actually had a twin.
Were you the one who went into the box, or the one who came back out? We took turns. The trickiest way we would swap. Cutter knew, but I told him it was too simple, too easy. No.
The transported man trick was a simple case of brothers helping each other out, but it's Nolan's direction that makes this reveal so appealing to us. The look on Angier's face said more than any line of dialogue ever could.
I've made sacrifices. No. Yes. It takes nothing to steal another man's work. It takes everything.
California, stay away from here. Stay away from here now. Don't come in here. John Doe has the upper hand. Mills!
What?
I wish I could have lived like you did.
Shut up.
We're kicking off our top 10 with a deadly reveal, and it comes via a box that nobody wants to open. Mills got the worst possible ending in the movie, after the audience figures out that Tracy is the one inside the box.
I visited your home this morning, after you left. I tried to taste the life of a simple man. It didn't work out, so I took a souvenir. her pretty head.
John Doe is a very unnerving kind of villain, in the sense that he doesn't want others to be happy. He wants to win them over in ways that are unconventional, which is why he played the whole game of the 7 deadly sins. Even though Mills takes his life, it's Doe who's won, and even though Detective Somerset figured that out, it was to no avail. The once-in-the-box sequence is iconic enough as it is, and its popularity is fueled by the reveal that led directly into it.
If you kill him, he will win.
Oh, God! Oh, God! Oh!
Cole, you're scaring me.
They scare me too sometimes.
They?
Ghosts.
You see ghosts, Cole?
They want me to do things for them. They're the ones that used to hurt me.
We did cover the others earlier, and The Sixth Sense does have certain similarities to it, but it came out first, which is why it finds itself in a much higher position. M. Night Shyamalan has made a whole career for himself thanks to his plot twists, like the one in Village I spoke about earlier. However, The Sixth Sense was what truly launched him into mainstream glory, and I can see exactly why.
They don't know they're dead.
How often do you see them?
All the time. They're everywhere.
Malcolm really thought he was going to redeem himself by working with Cole, but then he learns that he's been a ghost this whole time. He didn't survive the gunshot from Vincent, and everything he'd done that moment was pretty much in vain. Well, I mean, he does help Anna get closure after figuring his truth, so it wasn't all that bad. But yeah, seeing this for the first time was definitely a true cinematic experience.
I think I'm okay, really. I think it just went in and out. It doesn't even hurt anymore. I think I can go now. Just needed to do a couple things. Needed to help someone. I think I did.
How about coming along?
We can't.
It's better than going to jail for heresy.
Oh, they can't convict us of heresy? You've helped prove our innocence.
I still say you're making a mistake.
That's the spirit. Keep 'em flying. Doctor, I'd like to kiss you goodbye.
Nothing can beat an OG, especially if it's from the 60s era to the 90s. Planet of the Apes is one such example. While most of us are familiar with the newer films, it was actually the first film released in 1968 that made this franchise so popular. I mean, I'd rather not discuss the Mark Wahlberg disaster, so let's just focus on the OG ending. We spend the whole movie following Taylor, who's trying to find his way to his home planet, only to learn right at the end that he was always on Earth. Yeah, the planet with talking monkeys is actually Earth after a nuclear war. The shot of Taylor in total despair next to a destroyed Statue of Liberty is a legendary shot that's made its way into the history books. These are feelings you can only truly experience once, and I'm glad I got to do that with any spoilers, even if it was via a DVD player.
I'm home. All the time. You finally really did it. You maniac! You blew it up! God damn you all to hell!
그냥요, 하던 얘기나 마저 하죠. 들어봐요. 내 얘긴 되게 재밌어. 체면 상태에서 암시를 걸어놓고 각성 상태에서 그대로 행동하게 하는 거. 아직도 눈치 못 채겠어요? 처음 보는 남자를 집에 끌어들인 넌 도대체 누구야?
Jesus Christ, I'm going to need some extra strength to be able to get through this entry. 2003's Old Boy is a masterpiece for sure, but that plot twist deserves to be put in jail for the rest of humanity's existence, as if the movie wasn't heavy enough already, and then they decided to traumatize a whole generation of cinephiles with a reveal that would make anyone sick to their stomachs.
미도에게 손이 잡힌 당신이 할 행동은 물론 당신의 진짜 실수는 대답을 못 찾은 게 아니야. 자꾸 틀린 질문만 하니까 맞는 대답이 나올 리가 없잖아. 왜 이유진은 오대수를 가뒀을까가 아니라 왜 풀어줬을까란 말이야.
Well, maybe apart from a few Alabama residents. Daisu learning about Mido being his daughter was so shocking that all of us were in unison when we went, what the f***? Wu Jin is a different kind of evil, but you can't even hate him for long because of what he does to himself after this historical moment. Nobody was happy after learning what they did here, and I guess that is proof of Park Chan-wook's directing abilities.
Who do you think I am?
Are you sure this isn't a test?
No, this is not a test.
You're Mr. Durden. You're the one who gave me this.
Please return your seat backs to their full, upright, and locked position.
I think it's fair to say that the trope of the unreliable narrator is shown best in 1999's Fight Club. This is a movie that's gained an immense cult following and is an extreme case of belated film success. Tyler Durden and the narrator of the movie are inseparable forces, and we find out why when it's revealed that they're actually both the same person.
I ask you for one thing. One simple thing.
Why do people think that I'm you?
I think you know.
No, I don't.
Why would anyone possibly confuse you with me?
Yes, this twist was brilliantly delivered to the audience, once again proving why David Fincher is such a master. Of course, Edward Norton and Brad Pitt also pulled off some spectacular performances to sell that idea, and it clearly worked. Even today, people joke around by playing along with the dual personality concept when referring to both actors. This is a legacy which simply can't be replicated.
I don't understand this.
You were looking for a way to change your life. You could not do this on your own. All the ways you wish you could be, that's me.
Here's Johnny!
Stanley Kubrick loves to mess around with our minds, and he's been doing it in almost all of his movies. However, The Shining is such a deep, polarizing film that critics and fans are still arguing over its details even over 45 years after its release. While we're familiar with all the spooky stuff that happens via Jack himself, it's actually after his death that our minds get blown the most. The movie ends with a zoom into a photograph of a party at the Overlook Hotel. This is from 1921, way before Jack and the Torrance family even entered the hotel, and yet we see Jack in this photograph. I mean, how is that even possible? Was he really always the caretaker of the Overlook? Were these guys chosen by the hotel beforehand? Well, these are exactly the kinds of unanswered questions that make The Shining such a crazy film to interpret.
I found these in your backyard in the pond. They belonged to your husband, didn't they? Didn't they?
I don't know. Yes, probably.
Yes, positively. It's where he was drowned.
What?
There's no time to be shocked.
Okay, Jack Nicholson's back, although it's hard to say which movie is more traumatizing. This one's fairly messed up, and it's only above Oldboy because of the fact that we got this movie 29 years before it. Roman Polanski is a highly controversial director, but I'd rather not get into his personal life. One thing we can't deny is that he was pretty good at his job. 1974's Chinatown proves it, especially when all of us learn that Evelyn is Catherine's mother as well as her sister.
She's my daughter.
I said I want the truth.
She's my sister. She's my daughter. My sister, my daughter!
I'm hoping you can figure out on your own how that's possible because I feel so uneasy just thinking about it, okay? Faye Dunaway killed it with her performance, and Jack Nicholson does a good job of keeping up the energy too. This kind of realization would hit hard in any era, regardless of social outlook. I guess Chinatown really is as bad as the movie makes it out to be.
I said I want the truth!
She's my sister and my daughter. My father and I understand. Or is it too tough for you?
You are beaten. It is useless to resist. Don't let yourself be destroyed as Obi-Wan did.
Look, as kids, we sometimes aren't too happy with the way our parents treat us. They won't get us a toy that we want, or they just don't let us eat too much candy. Life gets very difficult as a child. But then, I saw The Empire Strikes Back and realized just how privileged I was. Back in 1980, nobody in their wildest dreams could have imagined Darth freaking Vader to be Luke Skywalker's father.
I am your father.
No.
The f*** you mean, no?
Their battle was good enough, but in the middle of their little chat, cinema's greatest villain finally reveals that he's the dad of his nemesis. This line became so popular that people recognize it even if they haven't seen Star Wars. This one truth had such a strong impact that it totally changed how the fans viewed the whole story. It wasn't just about good versus evil anymore, it was also about father versus son.
Luke, you can destroy the Emperor. He has foreseen this. It is your destiny. Join me, and together we can rule the galaxy as father and son.
You had to hide when you first heard the police cars. You said you heard the shot before the fire. But you didn't see him die.
I knew him. He would never.
He programmed you. He knew we were close. You said it yourself.
But why me?
Because you're stupid. Because you're weaker than them.
At number 2 is a reveal that should have been obvious, but the movie still managed to fool us into believing that it wasn't the case. The whole deal around Kaiser Soze was a brilliant executed plot point, with Kevin Spacey pulling off an iconic escape as Verbal. Dave was just sitting there, listening to his whole story, and even we as the audience were convinced about every single detail that Verbal was telling us. It was only when we got to witness that epic finale that we realised all of us got played.
Tell me every last
back when I was in that barbershop quartet, Skokie, Illinois. Where's your head, Agent Kuyan?
What we need to do is think.
Some guy in California, his name is Redfoot.
A gift from Mr. Soze.
Talk to me, Verbal.
What about Redfoot? Mr. Redfoot.
The way Verbal corrects his walking pattern and becomes this confident gangster-type persona had us all in absolute awe. The line about the devil's greatest trick seemed pretty apt in this scenario too. After all, the whole movie was an extension of it.
Spot a murderer.
You told me you got the cripple in there from New York.
Yeah.
He mentioned Kaiser Soze.
Who?
After that, my guess is you'll never hear from him again. The greatest trick the devil ever pulled was convincing the world he didn't exist. And like that, he's gone.
Mrs. Bates.
There was never going to be any other entry taking the top place, considering how this is cited by most film critics to be the greatest reveal ever. Psycho released in 1960 and it changed cinema forever. Apart from all the other massive achievements, the big reveal of Bates dressing up as his own mom and committing murders was unheard of back in the day. Let me put it into perspective for you, okay? 1960 was 66 years ago. Can you imagine how crazy people must have been going over the scene during this era? And that eerie final scene with Bates looking back at us? I mean, it's legendary AF. How can you even debate this being the best plot twist of all time?
Oh, they know I can't even move a finger, and I won't. I'll just sit here and be quiet, just in case they do suspect me. I'm not even gonna swat that fly. I hope they are watching, and they'll say, why, she wouldn't even harm a fly.
Hope you liked the video. Please subscribe to the TV Regent, and here's another video I know you're going to enjoy.